Welcome to Marketplace Africa. We cover the biggest economic trends impacting the continent. I'm Zain Ashen, and when you hear success stories in the business world, many times it starts with access to education. So if you look at a country like Kenya, for example, where the African Development Bank projects GDP to grow by 6% this year, education is going to be a big focus. According to UNESCO, in 2017, Kenya's government spent just over 5% of its GDP on education. That's almost 17% of its total government expenditure. To put that in perspective for you, South Africa spends about 1% more. Now, this kind of government investment is aimed at making sure kids are enrolling in schools and then successfully making the jump from primary to secondary school. If you look at this data from 2015 from UNESCO, it actually seems to be working because the transition rate was almost 100%. Now, to help meet the demands of more and more students enrolling in school, private schools are becoming a big part of Kenya's education equation.
Before the break of dawn, Samuel Ochieng is already getting ready for the day.
I wake up, take a shower, then put on my uniform, have my breakfast. At 6 sharp, I start my journey to school.
It takes him 40 minutes to walk from his home in Kiambio slums to Eastleigh High School in Nairobi. Originally founded in 1952, the all-boys public school offers a varied curriculum.
Who can give us an example?
Ranging from mathematics to agriculture, but lacks resources since the funding for facilities falls to the parents.
Public schools, the resources they have, it's limited. If you are able to adapt, then you can use it like to the optimum results. But if you use it in the usual way, like it's school, like go there to learn, that's it. You are not working smart.
However, Samuel is right where Kenya wants him to be. One of the government's education goals has been for students to transition from primary to secondary school. And offering what it considers free tuition has been a big part of that. So while there are government subsidies, students like Samuel will still pay about $100 for enrollment. That's the same amount his father makes in a month at his job at a shoe factory. And then there are other costs like uniforms, food and transportation that parents are expected to handle.
Before he completed his primary school, he asked me, "Dad, do you have money for me to go to high school?" I told him, "Just keep on going to school. God is there." I was really stressed out, asking myself, how can I get him in school?
Thankfully, with the help of a private donor, Samuel's dad made it work. And economist Ali Kansachu says that's what everyone is willing to do when it comes to education.
Whether you are a billionaire or whether you are somebody who is at the bottom of the pyramid, in my experience, both people share the same thinking. That thinking being that education can change the life, improve the opportunities in a competitive world of 7 billion people for your children.
But as Kenya's economy continues to grow, Kenya's middle class is turning to private education to give them that competitive edge.
When you get a reasonably good income, you need to educate your children. So therefore, parents are more discerning, they're investing in it, and they're prepared to make those choices, even if it hits them in their pockets.
40 minutes away from Eastleigh High School is the International School of Kenya. It's one of the country's most expensive private schools, offering a North American curriculum, including an International Baccalaureate program. The cost? Nearly $30,000 a year, a price the school's director says is comparable to other international schools.
It's really about the quality of the program. We have a learning support teacher per grade level so that they get quality time with the teacher and the teachers know the students individually. So it's not just the name or a no-frills type of education. They're getting a wide range of activities.
Founded in 1976, the school was originally established to offer education mostly to the children of diplomats and NGO workers. Today, the non-profit school says it has 10 to 11% Kenyans attending and offers a Kenyan scholarship program for students like Amani, who used to go to a public school.
In my old school, my daily life could be summarized by 3 words, wake up, study, go sleep. You know? And that's all it was. And it felt very mundane. ISK, it's quite the contrary. ISK, I come here and you just get a sense for the creative freedom that they allow you to be yourself. I'm given the chance to create experiments, to create products, you know, things that I'll never imagine I'll be doing this early.
ISK says its students have a 99% acceptance rate to universities. Amani has his sights set on MIT in the United States.
I started a little bit of high school in public schools, in the Kenyan public school system, and I still had a vision in mind. I still knew if it was possible, ever possible, you know, I wanted to go to MIT. My vision has not changed, but has been expanded. You know, when I come here, I'm not just studying and waiting to apply to a university course. I'm rather doing actual university work here.
According to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, there were 8,592 public secondary schools and 1,350 private ones in the country in 2017. So, with a constant demand for high-quality education, Sachu says both public and private schools have a role to play.
I think there's a place for both. We have got to educate everybody. And I think the challenge is, how do we bring our educational system into the 21st century in the public space, make it cost effective, and deliver people ready for the job market at the end of it all.
No matter what school he's in, Samuel says he's also responsible for his success. He hopes to be a doctor one day.
For me, education, it's my key to success. I know with education I can be successful. There is nothing that I can't do with education.
Lenny Jokas, CNN.
All right, time for a quick break here on Marketplace Africa. We come back. A steel tycoon's humble roots, how a self-made multimillionaire found a spiritual brand of success. That's next.